Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, May 25th, and I am coming back among the living. It's been a couple of weeks now since surgery. Tomorrow will be a 2 full weeks since my surgery, and I can honestly say that every day is getting better. I kind of didn't believe that when I first heard that from so many women in my support groups, that it really does improve so much every day. And I'm grateful that it really does. I feel the difference day over day. It does really change. I have days where I can be up and kind of walking around for a little bit. And then I have days like yesterday where I did get quite a few steps in, but I pretty much napped a good portion of the day, woke up, ate, took a little walk, and then went back to sleep. I was really weepy yesterday. I have no idea why. I was just crying a lot. You can hear it in my voice sometimes too. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the gravity of the surgery and all the emotional aspects and just everything that my body is going through. And it's just a release. So when it happens, I just sort of let it come. Um, this is the way that I am right now. This is the way I've been living the last few weeks since I got home from surgery. There are no pants. There is no nothing, just this bathrobe and a drain holder. And I kind of change out between a couple different bathrobes. The blistering on my chest is getting better. We're doing a new kind of wound protocol, which has been helping a lot. I think it's really improved in the last few days since my post-op on Friday. So that's really great and encouraging because it's sort of really devastating to look at. I know that it'll get better and be better, but it's hard to look at your chest and see that it's like purple and black and blistered and after everything you've been through, right? So, but it's getting better. So I'm really super happy and grateful again for that. The word grateful is going to come up a lot here. I've been able to eat pretty good overall. I lost about, I think, 6 or 7 pounds total in the hospital with surgery, and I've gained back about 4 now that I'm eating. But that also has a lot to do with, I'm not as active as I was before, but also that I am really bumping up the protein and collagen. We're sneaking that in at every opportunity to really help with wound healing. And I do think it's making a difference. I also think it's really making a difference in how I feel overall. So that's really wonderful. So we're trying to stick to about 100 grams of protein a day and about 40 to 50 grams of collagen a day. And we're pretty close to that most days, which is awesome. I'm also able to start taking my vitamins again, which I think has also really helped making sure that from a nutrient perspective, I am as balanced as I can be. And, as a health and wellness coach, as well as somebody who just researches a lot around vitamins, right? You don't ever want to over supplement. You want to get what you can from food. But in these times where I'm not eating as fresh of food as I would like, that isn't possible. So I do need to work on supplementation during this time. And I do think that that's really helping make a difference. I feel better since I have been back on that, as well as from a hydration perspective, we are trying to get in me at least 120 ounces of water a day, um, which if you've never tried to drink that much, it is a lot, but when you're used to it, it doesn't seem like that much. Good news is that I've been pretty thirsty since surgery, so it hasn't been as difficult, except for yesterday because I slept a lot. Um, but we also work on hydration tablets within that. So using either LMNT, which is a high sodium based electrolyte additive to your drink, because your body depletes a lot of sodium in going through this process. And then also then using just regular non-sport hydration tablets, even though I am not sweating a lot, except for when I have hot flashes, because let me tell you, this fucking surgery has like kicked that shit into overdrive. But Normally, like when you're sweating a lot, you would want to replace that, and that's kind of a little bit more balanced, not as sodium forward, but more vitamin nutrient forward, electrolyte and alkaline. So I've been going back and forth between those, and again, I kind of feel like all of that has really been making a difference. So you can hear my throat is still a little gravelly. My throat was fucking trashed after being intubated for 8.5 hours. It was no fun. I remember waking up from surgery and thinking that like somebody just used a cheese grater on the inside of my throat and then lit it on fire. It just was probably one of the worst things of pain I've ever felt in my throat. So it is still sort of recovering. That can take a couple of weeks. So, we're just, kind of every day it gets a little better, but it's still hoarse. My breathing on the spirometer, I actually was going to bring it in here and show you guys, but I forgot. So my breathing is getting better. The last 2 days I've been over 1,000. So that's great. The goal is to get to 2,000 to 2,500, which is sort of normal range for most people. So we just keep working at it, and every day it just keeps getting better and better, which is good. Um, it's this whole process has, you know, again, just been really hard. There have been some things that have been better than I expected. Like, it's weird to say that most days, like, I don't have pain. Like, I have pain all the time, but I don't have pain. So, and what I mean by that is like, my stomach is so pulled so tight, right? You can't tell from here, but I'm like leaning over and hunched over on my desk. I can't stand up straight. I have constant back pain. um, the tightness in my chest, in my ribs, in my underarms, everywhere that there was, where they touched me surgically is painful. But it is a weird sort of pain that you sort of get used to, and you don't really need, at least I haven't needed narcotics for, except for at night to go to sleep. But even that I've been weaning off of. And let's face it, guys, I am a lightweight. So, 5 milligrams of, Norco for me puts me right to sleep. I do really well. So now we're supplementing in Tylenol when I kind of get to that place where I need something. Um, but then there's also like nerve pain. So part of this surgery, right, they cut all your nerves and your tissues in your abdomen and in your chest. And so now we did nerve sparing, nerve grafting to help me regain sensation in all these areas. And my body is starting to wake up. And part of that is when nerves regenerate, they spark. And sparking is electric, and it can feel like you're on fire. It can feel like pins and needles. So think about when you go to the dentist and you get that Novocaine and then your skin is waking up, but like times 1,000 standing on the sun on fire. It's pretty much in your finger in a light socket is what it feels like. So that's like, it's good news and bad news. The good news is my body is coming back online. The bad news is it hurts like a motherfucker. But again, it's kind of these ebbs and flows right now. But that makes me excited because I wasn't sure how soon I would start to feel anything. With the hope of nerve grafting and the nerve sparing, every person is different, and it may take and it may not. So I am grateful for the sensation, but I am also like, holy hell, that hurts. And with nerve pain, other than taking something like gabapentin, which I'm going to try to avoid if I can, um, you just kind of have to go through it, right? And let your stuff regenerate. So that's really interesting. I also want to talk about, like, I really wanted to document this process as much as I could, start to finish, give you guys all of the ins and outs of what was going on for me in real time. But that moment from coming home from the hospital to now, I just couldn't emotionally, not able to. Um, a lot of it because, again, like, I don't even know why I'm crying right now, but just a lot of it I think is because I just have this emotion flowing through me that I just don't know what to do with. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what it is or why it's happening. And in a lot of cases, I felt really inarticulate. And when I do these videos, I want to provide information. I kind of want to try to be as specific as possible about my experience, because that's all I can really speak to is my experience, what I researched, what I was told versus what I'm actually experiencing. Um, and and that's hard. It's hard to do when you're not in a good place and you're really weepy. So while it may be good to show sort of the honest face of what you're actually going through, I don't necessarily, for me, I don't think it's beneficial if all you're seeing is me crying, which in a lot of my videos you see that anyway. So that doesn't really kind of get to the heart of why I'm trying to do that. So I have sort of made some notes where I want to go back and talk about things that I went through during those days coming home from the hospital up till now, because I think in hindsight, I have a little bit of clarity and I can speak to it more articulately, but also that I can provide some real context around what was going on for me at the time. And I think maybe why I was feeling that way. And again, really speak to what I read, what I researched, what I talked to other women in my groups about, as well as like how that experience was for me. And hopefully that'll be helpful to other people and really break that down into sort of bite-sized chunks. Um, Excuse me. So, also part of me getting through surgery and back on my allergy meds, because let me tell you, people, other than my throat being ripped to shreds, sneezing is like being murdered from the inside out, and the level of screaming that happens is I can't even begin to tell you, as well as coughing. Coughing has gotten a little bit better, but sneezing is just I just beyond the level of pain that should even be reasonable on any scale. So, um, but anyway, so I am up and walking every day as much as I can. Yesterday, I think I hit like 2,200 steps, which was great. I'm sleeping when I can, trying to be up and about a little bit more, um, getting back to eating and just really trying to take care of myself. So I do get to shampoo my hair this week. I actually have an appointment with my hairstylist. Thank you, Betsy. I love you. Because this dew has not been washed since surgery. Now, since I have been, in my post-op last week, I was actually cleared to take a shower and get in the shower, but I still have one hip drain in. That hip drain has been a little bit tricky, so I'm worried about like trying to get in the shower and move too much around and have it on a drain hook and like all the things and then have something go sideways. So we're sticking to spit baths until until we go back for my second post-op this next Friday. So in the meantime, I'm doing these shampoo shower caps, which have been great, but like this situation is like, it's a hot mess. Um, so anyway, you guys, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling now. So I think I'm just going to sort of wrap this up and say thank you to everyone who has reached out. You know, I continue to be so grateful and humbled by all of you, my tribe and my friends and family and strangers who are going through this. You know, this surgery and this situation makes us part of a really shitty club, but a really great group of women, a really strong group of women. And it's been humbling and necessary through this time. So, but I just wanted to come on here today and kind of give an update and say hi and I love you and I'm doing pretty good overall, like all things considered. Like I am super impressed with where I am. So yeah, that's all we got for today. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday and we'll talk soon.